are you glad to see Trackhouse committing to SVG for the next few years? And what do you think about the discourse regarding SVG and the next gen car hurting, of course, the on-track product on road courses?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. Welcome back, Josh. Glad to have you back. If anyone from Aquafresh or Colgate is listening in, please give a sponsorship to the show. SVG then, dominant performance again at the weekend. The contract extension, surely, that was always coming. And again, as I've said, all season long, he's come to do the job and he has completed that task with flying colours, and he could see himself through at least a couple of, perhaps with his points tally, could see himself through a couple of rounds of the playoffs coming up, which is exactly what Trackhouse got him to do, or got him in to do, basically, was to clarify their car in the playoffs. He's far and away the sort of, in all the stats really are really the lead guy at Trackhouse, and they've got Ross Chastain, who of course got his big win at the Coke 600 at the end of May. But what do we say? I mean, every week now, and I know we've had the apart from COTA, which was at the beginning of the season, we've had the bulk of the road courses packed into this short spell, haven't we? Sonoma, Watkins Glen, Mexico, Chicago. There was another one, wasn't there? And I'm struggling to remember where it was. They've all been crammed into this bit of the summer stretch of the season. So I get where people's road course racing fatigue has come from. But look what he's doing to the competition. He did it at Chicago. He kind of watched and waited to see what would happen. He did it in Mexico as well. Sat in, looked like maybe Ty Gibbs might have something for him at Mexico. Didn't work out. McDowell was strong looked like he was strong in the early stages in Chicago on the street course there. And this weekend it was Blaney's turn to great pole position lap and looked like he was very good early. But SVG looked like in the end, what it turns out was he was just playing with him. And with the lack of cautions at the weekend as well, that obviously elongates his advantage over a long run where he can pull out the lead. And he certainly did that while they were tripping over each other for second and below. So come to do the job. He's doing that. He's got his contract extension in his pocket. He said this week he's having the most fun he's ever had behind the wheel of a racing car, which is no surprise, really. Would we be saying this if a Chase Elliott was doing what he was doing previously when he was winning all the road course races in a row, which he did? I think that was 4 in a row, which obviously Shane has just done, and he's 5th in total. I don't remember there being too much, discourse and unhappiness about it then. I think it's a little bit of the foreign driver coming in from the land, an outlander as such, coming in and doing the job. Road courses, this is what, NASCAR, obviously very American sport, but they do have a lot of international fan base, and the international fan base are more akin to road courses than ovals. And they've got an international star to cheer on now on the road courses, sorry. And he's doing the job. I understand it. Maybe we could go down to 4. I think Ben suggested in the grid chat this week, the Glen, Sonoma, a street course and an international race. I know there's been talk about Brazil recently. It looks like Mexico's going to be off the schedule now for at least the time being. So maybe they could go back to Canada. I think 4, if you're going to have more than 2, and we need to have more than 2, 4 would probably be a good number. But I don't know. I'm really starting to get annoyed about defending my driver, and everyone knows that's regular view. I'm a big SVG fan, coming on every week and defending him for doing well. I don't understand why that has to be a thing.
Where was everybody last year after one of the best races we'd seen ever in NASCAR, Watkins Glen, where Chris Buescher was side by side with SVG and they were bouncing off each other? I mean, nobody was saying it then, were they? It's just because there's not really anybody at the front who can catch on road courses now. But I'll throw one to you, Connor Zilic, next year, coming in, Cup Series. on road courses, it's going to be those two ding-donging every 5 minutes. And that's going to shut people up because right now, yeah, he's winning by 11 seconds. But you throw in a driver who's good at road courses and who likes the car, it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, you take a look at the 3 battles they've had this season down in Xfinity at Sonoma, at Chicago, and this weekend. They've been good ding-dong. This weekend it ended in disaster with Shane being spun into the wall in the last corner and his race was ended. But they've been close battles, and yeah, it's probably going to be those two, both of them 12 seconds off up the road, and everyone else scrapping for third. And for a little while, it'll go, oh, wow, look at this is great. But then after a little while, it'll be, oh, it's those two again. Where's the rest of them? Be better.
That's it. That's exactly the thing I said in 2021 as well. Everybody was like, oh, here we go. It's Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, part 14 or whatever. Oh, look, they've hit each other. Oh, dear. It was when they hit each other. Yeah, that was exciting. But then it was like, oh, my God, who could win? You know, because this is anybody's now. And that's the thing. You're going to have the battles. And then when they eventually take each other out, akin what we saw a little bit in Xfinity, you then ask, oh, my God, who's going to win today? Like Chicago last year, SVG in the wall, all of a sudden that race lit up because everybody was like, oh, wow, somebody else could win this. So it's still that anything can happen. And yeah, I'll ask you the follow-up now as well, because road courses are expanding. We know we're going to have another one next year with San Diego coming in. So do you feel that NASCAR will listen to the influential voices like Dale Jr., you know, frustrated drivers and fans, and then would they downsize the number of road course races? Because at the moment, we're going still with the 5 next year.
Yeah, I don't know. You could give the atypical NASCAR fan the keys to the rule book for a day, and okay, do what you want with it. They wouldn't know where to start, but they have all the answers on social media. And that's kind of where we are with this. And now the Discord has rumbled from the Twitter sphere onto the podcasts of, I mean, I listened to Actions Detrimental this week, Denny Hamlin's podcast. The first half an hour of the 55 minutes or whatever it was them just bashing the car and the road courses. So I think the higher ups at NASCAR actually need to take a step towards all these guys and go, come on, just calm it down. But as I said in the first part of this, you know, we are at the point of fatigue of road courses for a lot of people through the summer stretch. We've only got one more to go, and that's one that a lot of people don't like and feel like it should be off the schedule completely, which is the Roval. And you know, maybe if we get a dull race there in October, then that would maybe by that time we'd probably have the schedule out, you would hope, because we keep being told it's only a couple of days away and we still haven't got it. By the time we get to there, if it's another bit of a snoozy race like we had at the weekend, more people will be calling for that to go back to the 400 miler on the oval as well. So again, I think we said this after the Sonoma and Chicago, which I think were back to back or very close to being with Mexico. In that segment, we're a bit all road course fatigued out. Now we've got 3 absolute traditional race tracks over the next 3 weeks: Richmond, Daytona, and Darlington to start the playoffs, where we're going to have proper oval racing over the next few weeks, hopefully. And much like at the start of the season when we were all talking about fuel saving at Daytona, the road course conversation will get pushed to one side. And then when it comes back to a road course, everyone goes, oh yeah, I remember this now. This isn't very good. And that's what happened. Quickly also, on the Zilich point from before, doubling back, SVG getting his extension. So that's going to be, he's 38 now. So let's say he stays around for 2 or 3, 4 years. Let's say he gets to 42. Zilich is 20, whatever he is. He's still got, you know, a few years ago when Kyle Larson was coming through, and it took him a little while, of course, because he was at Ganassi and he didn't have the greatest equipment. As soon as he got in the Hendrick car, he was off like a rocket. Zilich has got the keys to everything in front of him if he can stay fit. More on that later. I mean, he's going to be a force not just on road courses but on ovals too for the next 20 or 25 years, however long he chooses to do this. So
You've got
that's
a
the
feeling
next story after the SVG stuff, I feel like.
it's another Jimmy Johnson, it's another Jeff Gordon,
Yeah.
it's another Dale Earnhardt. It's all coming through. Hello, Matthew. It says, we really need to stop acting like this is unprecedented, though. A guy literally just won 4 straight road courses this decade. Very good point. Very good point as well. Because, I don't know, I'm trying to think. I'll sort my mic down. I don't know how to react to it when we've been literally. You mentioned about if you give the NASCAR fans the rule book. First thing, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, playoffs need to go. Oh, road courses need to go. Oh, this whole system needs to go. Blah blah blah. It's the flavor of the week with NASCAR at the moment. It's like, what can we change the rule about? But we're having a great season. I think was it SVG and Hamlin in our level going in, or so 5 apiece. That's impressive. We've got a lot to look forward to. Bubba Wallace is in the playoffs. That was completely out of the blue. He won a crown jewel. We're having a great season. And you're right with what you say. We've got 3 races coming up where they're going to be absolutely crackers. And no one's going to care about the rest of the season by the time we get to Daytona. And we've got 10 to go. Regular season on the line. And last chance for someone to lock themselves in. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait.
I feel like we've had not great hair on fire races for the last few weeks, but they've all been solid, and we don't need to have oh my goodness, look at this every single minute of the season, which would be great if it was like that, but that's not the world we live in. I'm going to burn a knot now quickly because you mentioned Jeff Gluck and podcasts and stuff. He does his with Jordan Bianchi, as people will know. They were talking about road course greatest of all times. SVG versus Tony Stewart was there. They kind of turned it down to, and Jordan Bianchi, who I enjoy listening to, but sometimes he just drives me insane. Said, "I'll take I'll take Stewart. Sorry, in a one-on-one, that prime Tony Stewart versus now SVG, because, and I quote, he will give him a bump." That's not how we're supposed to do it.
I mean, why
he's been beaten, but he'll stick his out. What Tony Stewart's like, he'll give him a bumper and get him out of the way. No, that's not how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Why weren't I'm looking at that very podcast? You think why didn't they include Jeff Gordon in that?
It was Jeff or Tony basically,
and they went with Tony.
And they went kind of that's the way the discussion kind of went against SVG, and they went with Smoke. More on Smoke later on in the show as well. So all very, very strange. Matthew, good evening to you. Says, and for the love of God, please, we must stop acting like we didn't know SVG winning all these races and getting these plus. Exactly. We've been talking about this between the two of us, me and Mr. Owens, all year. As soon as he gets one on the board, he was going to be off. And let's face it, he had a terrible run at Cota back in March. If he'd won there as well and swept all the road courses, and Christopher Bell, of course, ended up winning that one, he'd have even more playoff points for people to complain about.
He would be top of the seed as well. He would have piece. I just, you've got to respect the talent. And I think this thing, if you didn't see him in supercars, you don't understand the level of brilliance he is.
Yeah.
And that's why. Yeah.
When he got announced to go and do Chicago 2 years ago, I went, well, he'll win there. And everyone went, who is this guy? Don't worry, he'll win. And then it rained, of course, which obviously helped him out to some degree. But I really wish I'd put a bet on.
Yeah, you would have gone a lot.